diameter is 100 yojan, 100,000 yojan. Mount Meru is in the center, illuminated by two moons, two suns, six mountains and rivers to the west, east to west, and there are seven huge continents, and each continent is watered by two great rivers. This is the kind of the structure. We did we see this chart also? No, we may not have seen this one last time. So I just wanted to spend little time on Jambudvip. Okay, let me bring the Jambudvip chart. Here is the Jambudvip, just only the center circle, and you can see the Bharat Kshetra is here. So from just watch my arrows from here to here. This area, the bottom portion is the Bharat Kshetra. This is Mount Meru is in the middle, and the whole area here is the Mahavidya Kshetra. Okay, and this is the Airavat Kshetra from here to here. Okay, so you can see from Bharat Kshetra, it is right opposite, mirror image. All right, and Mahavidya Kshetra is right in the middle. And there are 32 regions in Mahavidya Kshetra, and you can see the north side 8 regions, the south side 8 regions, and same thing. This is on the east side, and on west side also 8 region above and 8 region below the river. This is the river. Okay, one here and one here. For Bharat Kshetra, these are the two rivers, which is Sindhu River and this is the Ganga River. And between the Sindhu and Ganga River and south side of the Vaitadhya Parvat, okay, Vaitadhya mountain, we can call it Himalayan mountain, whatever. I mean, that is the area is called Aryabhumi. All other areas are Anaryabhumi. And Tirthankars are born in only Aryabhumi. And liberation can occur only from Aryabhumi, not from Anaryabhumi. So you can look at it from south of the Vaitadhya mountain or south of the Himalaya. That's where both Sindhu and Ganga rivers coming down. That's the place. That's where the religion has proper environment. To practice the religion has the proper environment. The knowledge in that time that existed on the west of the Sindhu River or east of the Ganga River or Ganges, that east and west where human beings were there, but they were the primitive human beings. So their mind is not developed, the religions was not really established. Everything that 24 Tirthankar born and raised is between these two areas. So just keep in mind that one. We are on the west side of the Sindhu River, which is America. I mean, those who are in American, okay, those who are in India, they have a better environment, spiritual environment. That is how the Shastra has explained into it. Okay, and like Srimandar Swami, Yugmandar, Bahu, and Subahu, the 4 Tirthankars in Mahavidya Kshetra, they are in these 4 corners. This corner, which is a northeast corner, east side and north side. That's where Sumandar Swami is. Yugmandar is the south east, which is this corner. Bahu is the northwest, and Subahu of the Jambudvip, Mahavidya Kshetra, is here. So these four Tirthankars in these four regions, one here, one here, one here, and one here, today they are exist there. And where the Tirthankars are, generally the moksha is available. Actually, you can attain moksha in any of the region of Mahavidya Kshetra. You don't have to born into these four regions, but other area, the like Mahavira wasn't there when, or Parshnath wasn't there on, but still people attain the liberation. You can imagine after Mahavir, after Mahavir's Nirvana, Gautam Swami lived 8 years and he attained the liberation. Mahavir wasn't there that time. Okay. After Gautam Swami, Sudharma Swami, who also attained the liberation, which he lived another 12 years, means total 20 years in that sense. And the last person who attained liberation in our area, okay, is the Jambu Swami. Right? So you can, that is after 44 years. So you can imagine that it is doesn't have to, Tirthankar establishes Chaturvid Sangh, but during the time, many people attain liberation, but after certain time, even Tirthankar attain the Nirvana and no Tirthankar exists, but still the moksha marga is open for certain time. And then when the spirituality degrades, at that time another Tirthankar borns. Okay, that's the kind of Karna Yoga concept. There are no, in Bharat Kshetra or in Airavat Kshetra, there are no two Tirthankars born at the same time. Okay, not right after each other, but there is a gap. And in that gap, the religion declines. What do you mean by religion declines? Means the spirituality declines among the people. And the new Tirthankar comes up, okay. He establishes Chaturvid Sangh, gives you the new rituals based on that time. Okay. The truth is the same from Adinath all the way to Mahavira. Okay. The six dravya, all other things are the same in a sense. But how to practice? The practice varies from Tirthankar to Tirthankar to Tirthankar. Okay. These are the kind of the things you have to remember, that when somebody says, is Mahavira established Jainism? Then we have, like many people, argue and disagree, agree, disagree, that kind of all the time argument occurs. Because they don't understand the basic of it, that our principles are universal. Okay, that is not. But what each Tirthankar, when he establishes Chaturvid Sangh, what he does, does Chaturvid Sangh means each one, he gave 5 Mahavrats to Gautam Swami, Mahavir Swami, and 5 Mahavrat to Chandan Bala. Then he gave Anand Sravak 12 vows of lay people. Okay, the 12 vows, which includes 5 Anuvrat, 3 Grunvat, and 4 Shikshavrat. We will cover those things later on another topic. But what I'm trying to give you that when you give those vows, then and then it becomes a Sangh, because Sangh means the people who have taken a vows to practice their life certain way. Okay, for man, Shravak, okay, there is a one way. Shravika, there is a little different way, but basically it is the same. But because of their body structure for men and women, they have their different types of the vows in certain area. Same thing for monks and nuns. They take the vows, 5 great vows or 5 Mahavrat. Okay, they take that one. That's what Tirthankar has given. So when Gautam Swami take the 5 great vows, he was the first monk or first Jain in a sense. Then he gave this Chandan Bala, that is the first Sadhvi. Okay, Anand Shravak was the first Shravak, and Sulsa Shravika was the first Shravika. And once that happened, on the very next day after he attained Kevalgnan, that's why we call it Chaturvid Sangh is established. That means the Jain religion is established, and the way they use the word religion is established means now there is at least one monk's nun, one Shravak and Shravika who have taken either 5 great vows, Mahavrats, or 12 vrats of the lay people, okay, or Shravak. And that's how the Sangh is established, and it starts it. So this is the kind of a concept we use for Jain religion. Any questions here? No.
Uncle, no
No,
question.
let me proceed further. Okay. All right. This is also another
And I will have one
diagram of the Jambu Dweep, which gives you little bit different representation, but both are the same. Then what I'm trying to give you here, that there are 7 continents in Jambu Dweep. You can go through it. All the diagrams I have given you, that's those are the thing you can trace it. That I told you before, there is a Karma Bhumi concept and Akarma Bhumi. The Airavat, which is the north, okay, and Bharat Kshetra, which is south. So if I use, let me go from bottom to up, because that where we are in a Bharat Kshetra, okay, that is Sindhu and Ganga rivers are there on the side, okay. And just a minute, where is there is something is, okay. Now, when we go north from us, we are the bottom, south side. When you go to the north, there is a Himavat mountain, like the Himalaya side. Okay, that's a Himalaya. And in that one, Himavat mountain has a Rohitasya and Rohita rivers. There are 2 rivers. This is how they separate. Bharat Kshetra to Himavat area and Harivansh area, okay, which are separated by which are separated by this mountain, Maha Himavant mountain, and there are 2 rivers, Harikatha and Harita rivers. Similarly, when you go above the number 4, there is a Nishidha mountain and Sitoda and Sita river. Okay, that is the Mahavidya Kshetra, okay, which is right in the middle. Now, I'm just going to, instead of reading everything, I want to just tell you one thing. Number 1 is a Airavat Kshetra. Number 4 is a Mahavidya Kshetra, and number 7 is Bharat Kshetra. These are the 3 area or regions. That's where Tirthankars born. Okay. Even in Bharat Kshetra, there is a Arya Bhumi and Anarya Bhumi. In that Arya Bhumi only Tirthankars born. But number 2, 3, and 5 and 6, they are Akarma Bhumi. And Akarma Bhumi, like I told you, the people do the Kalpa Vruks exist in the Akarma Bhumi. So that is why people don't need a religion even. If all your desires are satisfied, would you practice any religion? Because anytime you desire, your desire gets satisfied at that moment under the Kalpa Vruks. Okay, Kalpa Vruks gives you what you know, what you need. So for those kind of the environment, there is no need of the religion. People don't think of liberation. Okay, that thing only occurs when you are in a karma bhumi. So number 1, number 4, and number 7 are the karma bhumi. The remaining 4 areas are akarma bhumi. So that is the concept. All right. So any question here?